Hello old chums, today we are talking about death metal in 2023 and albums that I've missed because I haven't been doing my albums of the month videos, so there's been loads of albums I've not reviewed, loads of albums I've not checked out, and now I have. So I'm going to deliver to you my thoughts on each album in the death metal spectrum. I've got my Cannibal Corpse shirt on because Cannibal Corpse released a bloody banger, and should we start with that? Chaos Horrific, boom! Such a great, bloody good time. Oh, they always deliver. The most consistent band around. Cannibal Corpse, you can always rely on them to just give you gory fun, mindless caveman nonsense death metal. It's probably my favourite. You know, out of all the bands so far that have released death metal albums this year, this might be up there with my favourite. I just love how simple it is, but the guitar on here is phenomenal. This is probably the best guitar work on a Cannibal Corpse album I've heard in a long time, probably since Violence Unimagined, to be honest. The guitar is definitely knocked up a notch, and that's the main takeaway from this album that I got. So many cool killer songs as well. Pitchfork Impalement, oh, what a fun fucking song. And Drain You Dry or something? The last song, which is such... I've forgotten the name of it. You know the one I mean, Suck You Dry or whatever. Such a different song for Cannibal. It's doomy. It feels more like Incantation or Autopsy than Cannibal Corpse. And I love that change of pace. What a killer way to close the album out. Such a good album. I will say I slightly prefer Violence Unimagined. The songs feel more catchy on that. But this is pure brutality throughout, and I love it. The song Chaos Horrific, wasn't a big fan of at first when it came out, but on re-listenings, the kind of weird pace to the song kind of grew on me, and now I'm kind of into it. I love the zombie theme in it, just like a lot of the other songs they've got, like Pit of Zombies, stuff like that. And also, you know, the classic Fire Up the Chainsaw! So good. Cannibal Corpse is one of my favourite death metal bands of all time. Love the new album, and I want to listen to it after this video. What other bands have released some albums? Tomb Mold just released an album. Tomb Mold, an item in Bloodborne Chalice Dungeons, which I've platinumed, and I fucking love Bloodborne. It's one of my favourite games of all time, so I like Tomb Mold. Goes hand in hand. And there was that stupid article. I don't know who posted it. I don't know if it was Metal Sucks or Revolver. One of these shitty ass magazines posted it, that they didn't look metal enough because they were wearing like Resident Evil shirts and like video game shirts. Well, shut the fuck up. They can wear whatever they want. They're in a death metal band. Who cares? As long as they play good music, and oh boy do they. Now I love Planetary Clairvoyance. I got the long sleeve for that. I love the early ones as well. Manner of Infinite Forms. Ooh, great stuff. Excuse me. But this new one is very different for them. Very different. It's a lot more jazzy. It's a lot longer songs. Like the last song was like 12 minutes long. But yeah, very progressive, very jazzy. And I think someone in the comments of the video on YouTube actually said segments of Dream Unending is mixing in with the sound, and I can kind of hear that. And I love Dream Unending. The album was so good. Was it last year? Such a good album. It was in my top 10 of the year, I'm pretty sure. Such a unique album for them. Very different, very fresh and unique, and I enjoyed it quite a bit, so took me by surprise in a good way. Blood Incantations took me in a bad way, because I didn't really like the album they did. Very just, I don't know, airy-fairy. I want death metal vocals, whereas this one surprised me in a good way. So Tomb Mold, really enjoyed it. Next up is Cryptopsy, As Gomorrah Burns. Cryptopsy back with an album after a long stretch of absence. I did enjoy the EPs they did, the two Tombs, and I liked the self-titled album. I thought it was brutal and heavy as shit, but obviously it's not as good as None So Vile or Blasphemy's Made Flesh. Come on, can it be? Stop comparing them. They're never going to be as good. Those are two masterpiece albums that no band can touch. But I think this new album's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty heavy, pretty technical, pretty goddamn brutal. Will I say it's my favourite of the month? Or favourite of the year? Probably not. I think I prefer the more caveman-style Cannibal Corpse death metal, and another album I'll talk about in a minute. But it was fun, it was fresh, it was unique, and I did enjoy my time with it, but it probably won't be on my end of the year list. Maybe that'll trigger some people, but I did enjoy it, so I'd probably give it like 7 out of 10. Very surprised by it, but not my kind of death metal anymore. I still like it a lot, but yeah, I like the more traditional stuff. Let's move on. Incantation, unholy deification. Not defecation. We're not unholy shitting on people. Deification. What a great artwork. As soon as I saw the art, I was like, this album's going to slap. And fucking hell did it. I love Incantation in general. I've got a ranking on the channel. All their albums, most of their albums are pretty sick. This album's so good. The doom elements, just so good. Mixing in perfectly with the great riffs and vocals. Whoa, what the flying fucking shit? Fucking Apple alarm scared the shit out of me. Why was that even on? Oh my god. Anyway, that's not what's going to happen in this album. It's a slow burn, doomy. Almost had a heart attack then. Yeah, love the doom elements mixed in with the heavy riffs, because it still has those heavy riffs, still has the catchy nature of it, just with the elongated sections which just make it heavier than my balls. Oh, it's so good. Love this album. It's probably, between this and Cannibal, is probably my 2 favourite death metal albums of the year. I don't know which one I prefer yet. Time will tell, and I will do the top albums of the year when it comes out. Probably top death metal, top black metal, so on and so forth, and then the final list. For you guys, I like list season. December's gonna be fun. But yeah, Incantation's newest album fucking slaps. Ooh, let's talk about Dying Fetus, Make Them Beg. I've never been a big Dying Fetus fan. Never been a big Dying Fetus fan, which is crazy. I was supposed to rank them because I did a poll like a year ago. Dying Fetus won, but I never ranked them because I didn't really like them. It was the vocals. The vocals I wasn't really a big fan of. It was more in the brutal death metal style vocals. The kind of that kind of style. It sounds like Chris Barnes from 6 Feet Under, which I'm not a big fan of. I'm still not big into it. But the riffs and the melodies on this album are pretty goddamn fucking sexy. And I'm starting to but I'm starting to get into the vocals a bit more now. And I've seen Dying Fetus live and I had a blast. I was moshing the shit out of it. I was loving it. Dying Fetus live was great. It's just on record. I could never get into them. But yeah, this album is something special. This album is very, very riff heavy, very heavy in general, and just is making me enjoy the band more. So I always like Reign Supremacy. I think the album was killer. The rest of the album is Wrong One to Fuck With was pretty good, but I need to go back and re-listen to all the albums because this album is making me kind of love the band now, which is a good thing. You know, Questy's learning to like another band. That's good. So yeah, I think Make Them Beg is a fantastic record and one that I'll keep revisiting because it's making me get into a band. And when you get into a band that you've not been into or you could never get into before, it's a good feeling because it's new music to explore, new stuff to do. And you know that Dying Fetus ranking? It'll probably come soon. So hold on to your asses. So that's it for death metal albums I've missed this year. There's a couple of others that I've still yet to hear. Deathclock's new album and Cataclysm's new album, and also Suffocation's got a new album coming out. What a great year for death metal. I think this year's the best year for death metal. You've had Obituary, Cryptopsy, Dying Fetus, Cannibal Corpse, Suffocation's coming, Autopsy's coming. What a bloody insane year for death metal. Holy moly. We just need new Immolation and then it's goddamn set. So yeah, death metal's been killer this year. Those are just some of the albums I've missed. Let me know which was your favourite death metal album so far this year. And are you excited for Suffocation and Autopsy? I think Autopsy is this year. Could be next year, but well. Mind is a sieve. My brains are leaking out my ears. But yeah, let me know down below and we'll see you again on another Quest for Metal.